any standard device, you will hook it, we work with it. It will be transparent to the developer as well as the user. Usually the developer makes more effort to make it more transparent to the end user. Now it will be also transparent for the developer. And the security. You can go through the points, but I highlight too the standard and security. Security now, the control panel have something. If anybody open the control panel in Windows 7, you will notice something called sensor and location. This control panel item will give you the ability to enable different sensors, so you can control the security, maintain your privacy. You can say this sensor can be accessed by this user only, not this user. So give you more security. For developers, there are layers to access the sensor platform. The first one is the DDI, which is Device Driver Interface. This is an interface to the driver on the firmware itself, on the, if it's hardware part, or a service, okay? And the APIs, I forgot to tell you that this is native APIs. All the sensor and location platforms are native APIs. So in order to access it from .NET, you'll have to use a wrapper, COM wrappers, okay? Which is provided by the, it's available. Okay. About the sensor APIs, there is a specific APIs for location, because it's very important for social networking applications. So many people are interested specifically in location, the GPS location specifically. So there is a subset of, a superset of APIs made for the locations. Okay, and the control panel, this is security part. So the same slide, but in a graphical way. So below this part, this is all hardware related stuff, and above this is software related stuff. So you have a firmware for the sensor. It's communicating through a standard way with the class extensions. Then you can access it through the sensor APIs. So you have different applications. There is another thing that's very interesting. Usually when you access a sensor, a barcode scanner, a GPS, whatever, you block access to this sensor. So if one application is accessing this COM port, a virtual COM, no other application can access it. Anybody faced this situation before? So only one application can access the scanner, right?
Yeah, and we use
Yeah, no problem, but only one application can access it. If you run two instances, you will not be able to access it if you are accessing it natively. Also, it's famous for GPS, especially for Windows, if you use Windows Mobile 6. Your application, if you start it and it's accessing the GPS receiver, no other applications can use it. It will tell you this is an exception that the COM is, because it relies on COM ports, virtual COMs. Okay, so it will tell you that this COM is taken already. You cannot use it. But here, multiple applications can access the sensor APIs. And on top of this, there is the control panel part that controls the security. So this is for sensors in general. The development tools is WDK. Everybody knows what Windows 7 SDK is, but WDK is driver kit, driver development kit. To develop, actually Windows provide an SDK to develop drivers. Okay, so if you are working on this part, like you're developing your own sensor and writing the firmware, you'll be using the drivers to build your own drivers, and for the SDK to access sensor API. As I said, specifically location is more valuable, more interesting, okay? So on top of the previous one, we will have something specific for the location APIs. But here, it's not only the location API, we can have scripting interface. So you can use the location sensors through widgets or scripts. Like in Windows 7, you have the widgets. You can add widgets to your desktop. These widgets can access the scripting interface. Like if you're having geotagging for a camera, or you want your friends to know where you are. It's common for social networking, like the Facebook and Twitter. And you can add your location always to your application. So the same tools used. Am I going too fast? Okay. So, how to develop your sensor? Okay, you want an actual sensor. Maybe here, maybe you want to develop a new application. You want to test it actually. There is simulators, okay, but you can purchase hardware. So this is an example. It's from Freescale. This is actually a badge board. It used to be a badge, but it has a special firmware to access 3 types of sensors here. Have proximity, it's touch buttons, but the proximity buttons is a little bit different because you cannot have a pen and click on it. It has to be a finger, a human finger. Okay, and you have ambient light. The ambient light will sense how much light is around you. And the 3D accelerometer. So it senses the orientation and the movement of your hand. Okay, the package includes the sample firmware and 2 applications. We will see the last one, the marble game. Okay, let's go back. We selected the ambient light. Why ambient light is important? Actually, Microsoft says that the hardware, especially the laptops, will be equipped with these sensors. Okay, so your application have to be ready for this. One of the sensors that's very important is ambient light. So normally, on new laptops, there is a light sensor, but it's hooked to the operating system itself, or the hardware, the firmware. So when you go to the sun, you'll find the screen becomes brighter. Okay, you're going indoor, you'll find the screens becoming dimmer. But imagine this. If your application can change the colors and the context based on the light. Like if you are going outside with your application to sun, if you are developing like on a tablet PC, some field service application. So whenever you're going to the sun, you change the colors of your application. So your application is aware of the environment. Okay? When you go into a darker places, you'll find the colors become lighter. We will see this in the demo, but this is just an idea how to use the sensor. Of course, the accelerometer is important for the orientation, first of all. Like everybody sees the new iPad or iPhone or whatever. Whenever you turn the screen, it turns. Also the Windows Mobile. Whenever you turn the screen, the orientation of the whole screen turns. But it's not that simple, because the application has to be aware. In order to change the order of the text fields or whatever, okay? So, to the interesting part, we'll go to the demo. Let's first change this.